before I was mobilized to get into the Polish army, David Blacher had to spend with me. Never, all the years, he didn't pay so much attention to me. But this day, he went, wherever he went, even a sick child to visit, he brought me there, he held on to me. I was going with him the whole day, all over.
1934?
That was, no, before 42, 1939.
This is 1939?
Yes, still 1939. So,
This is when the Rebbe was in Mezrich with Rav David Bleicher.
yeah, right. So that day he was in me at night, and he was still with him. He was learning Perek Datayim or what, in Perek HaKosev in Shabbos. I had to join him. Then he got tired, so somebody was sleeping always after sofa, and that dining room left the place. He saw that I'm there, so I understood that from the place, and he went to sleep someplace else. So I laid it down to sleep. I woke up in the middle, wherever Nimka Yesh. I went to sleep again. Inu Bakevel Ragoi, Ba'aza Boranach.
He woke up with these psukim on his mind.
Right. And later on in the day, I David sits like you, and I stay here near him, and a boy comes in, gives me that whatever it's called, from the government, that I have to report in this place, that and that day.
This is for what? For the to be in the army?
To be in the army before the war, 6 weeks before the war started.
To be in the Russian army.
Polish
army.
Yeah. So, this is my Yagdome. Now, what comes to my mind lately is I was wounded the way the Posik says, in a Bakel Ragli, Baza Bornafshi, but there could have been a time on me why I was there going to be wounded because it wasn't the proper, it was the ditches of the Germans that they left and they retreated already. So I did enter a place which was not necessary, and over there I was wounded. So it could have been a time on me. And by the communists, if there's something that could create a time of a person, they create it right away before you have a chance to say anything. So I'm laying there wounded, and there's the man who oversees all the wounded. He knew already that I'm there now, only wounded in my feet. He knew the whole story. So he didn't say anything to me, absolutely. In the middle of the night, I see him walking, and he came over to me. He asked me some questions, whom I mean, whatever they call it, they had like Mashgichen, the communist. So who was this and this? What was the name of this and this person? I told him, he left. Then, a second time, he stopped in the middle of the way, and he stays and contemplated. I was thinking maybe he's a Yid, and he didn't want to come over to question no more, so he's contemplating yes or no, and I was laying there, he didn't come to me. Now, he's in my mind. He would come and ask me in details, and there was no question. His purpose would be to excuse me, and he would have excused me. So I would not have been here. Once he comes in his regime, once you're suspecting of anything, even if you're not suspecting, you are suspected, tomorrow you could be suspected. You take care of you already today. So When ich went back, I understood, this is my dream, in Bakirorak, with Bazaba and Natri, and the Eretnik Yesid, and because that was Min Hashemayim, so he remained staying and did not excuse me, came over to me to excuse me. And that was both of the Nisim, he did not register with me until the last couple of weeks, which I realized that in that moment, that he remained staying, it was Min Hashemayim. It was Min Hashemayim.